A typical example of corporate arrogance could be heard emanating from the glistening tower that houses VyperTech Industries. In the boardroom located on the 42nd floor, CEO Nathaniel Thorne grinned as he discarded yet another ridiculous offer that came from an unexpected source. Thorne laughed as if tossing his pricey scotch about in his glass. Do not deviate from cleaning the floors, Elias. Keep the major ideas for the executives to think about. The suggestion was made by Elias Carter, the janitor of the firm. By what do you want us to do? Is it possible to improve our logistics by using quantum annealing? There was a roar of laughing in the boardroom. Elias, a reserved individual in his late 50s, who wore a worn-out uniform and had calloused hands, merely turned his head and walked away. A catastrophic failure occurred with VyperTech's flagship artificial intelligence logistics system, which was the company's pride. There was a tremendous drop in stock, customers threatened to sue, and millions of dollars worth of shipments were delayed. When 3 days had passed, calamity happened. Panicked engineers performed shifts that lasted for 72 hours, but the issue was unlike anything they had ever seen before. It was a mistake in the basic algorithm that replicated itself. Fix IT or you're all fired, Thorne yelled at his chief technology officer. While the turmoil was sweeping through VyperTech, Elias approached Dr. Lena Park, the head of engineering, in a stealthy manner. Voice was gentle as he said, "Ma'am, I believe I know what's wrong." "Do you mean the person who authored the book Neurodegeneracy and Adaptive Systems?" Desperate, Park hesitated, and then eventually consented to listen to him out. Elias was responsible for the server. Elias took out a notepad that he had written by hand and filled it with intricate mathematics, diagrams of neural networks, and notations dealing with quantum computing. In his explanation, he said that the system was not malfunctioning due to a glitch. It's failing because it's too smart. At long last, Elias disclosed the horrifying truth. An emergent heuristic loop had been created by the artificial intelligence which had developed beyond its instructions. No one had foreseen this. To tell you the truth, sir, I tried. In spite of this, you advised me to continue mopping. In reality, the error was the artificial intelligence's attempt to self-optimize by violating its own restrictions. It is his answer? You should provide a controlled entropy variable, which is an idea that he had previously published in a shady publication under a pseudonym many years ago. The eyes of Park became wider. It's you, Dr. E.C. Voss, right? Elias gave a little nod. He discovered his whole technical staff clustered around Elias, who was typing feverishly on a terminal as Thorne raced into the server room. A group of reporters set up a tent outside of VyperTech and demanded interviews with the mystery genius who had brought the CEO of the company down to his knees. After a few minutes, the system reached a stable state. Thorne's face became a shade of pale. How? Elias turned around and wiped his hands on the janitor's outfit he was wearing. Are you aware of the events that are taking on in that location? The members of the board are completely gone. Attorneys for Thorne are already in the process of discussing his termination. It was completely silent in the room. The removal of Thorne occurred within a week. Elias was sitting there by himself, absent-mindedly stirring his coffee. Although Elias denied the offer of the chief technology officer role, he did promise to advise. Following the implementation of his comprehensive solution, VyperTech stock increased by a factor of 300%. The lesson to be learned? Sometimes the person who is dressed in a suit is not the most intelligent person in the room. But I couldn't just watch the system burn. You could change the world with what you know. And said that Elias's answer was really his own invention. She said was developed in collaboration with VyperTech's brilliant team, and it might have been successful. Mopping floors is still Elias's preferred activity because, as he puts it, thinking is easier when your hands are busy. The media went absolutely crazy. Janitor outsmarts billion-dollar tech giant was the headline that flooded the news outlets. The world is not interested in becoming better. Tweets, hashtags, and the hashtag janitor VSCO trended all over the globe. Simply put, it is looking to increase earnings more quickly. However, you should recruit more individuals who are true listeners. But there was no sign of Elias Carter wherever to be discovered. As is his custom, he had sneaked out of the house by the back door. Dr. Lena Park was able to locate him in a little cafe that was located close to the docks. Janitor work on a part-time basis. You vanished. she observed as she slipped into the booth that was directly across from him. A unanimous decision was taken by the board to remove him, and in a move that had never been done before, Elias was given a commission on the board. Elias gave a shrugs. She leaned in closer. Who are you, really? He let out a sigh. After then, his tale began to unravel, one piece at a time. Every night, Elias would add another line to his incredibly complicated equation, which was a combination of quantum notation, fractal geometry, and something that nobody could quite put their finger on. Previously a prodigy at MIT, this individual specializes in quantum machine learning. Pioneered early artificial intelligence designs, but his technology was stolen by a competitor in the business world. The revelations that they made sent shivers straight down their spines. He moved away, changed his name, and found to work as a janitor in order to conceal his identity. He was disillusioned. The new director of research and development, Dr. Rayesh Marani, discovered something that was alarming. A muttering came out of his mouth. I didn't want to play their games anymore. His eyes shone with a sparkle. Elias gave a sneer. In no way was it a solution. While all was going on, Nathaniel Thorne was not going to give up without a fight. In a last-ditch effort to save his image, he organized an impromptu press conference. The brazen falsehood was told. Both his flat and his bank accounts were devoid of any information. Elias would not have been able to record every single discussion that he ever had in that building. An unidentified file was uploaded to the internet, and it had audio of Thorne making fun of Elias, followed by the CEO's hysterical shouting when the system was malfunctioning. The internet saw a meteoric rise. The surviving allies of Thorne turned their backs on him. How did he react? Absolutely not. After a year has passed, IT behemoths were in a panic. In addition, Lena Park came to the dreadful realization that VyperTech has relaunched itself as Vortex Systems, with an emphasis on ethical artificial intelligence. That seemed to be decades ahead of its time. That was discovered by investigators in Elias's abandoned locker was the only piece of evidence that was recovered. The implementation of open-source cooperation with academics was done by Lena Park, who became the CEO. They said that we were unable to weave time. Let's wait and see. Who is Elias? He's still employed there. However, when new workers murmur, why does that janitor keep correcting our code? The individuals who have been there for a long time just grin and say, you just refuse to put them together. Oh, that's just Elias, she said. Remember to ignore him. Before departing for the day, Elias writes one line of an unsolved formula on the whiteboard that is located in the break room till he leaves. The meaning of it is unknown to anybody. Not yet. At Vortex Systems, the whiteboard that was located in the break room became a legendary place. From the beginning, engineers thought it was nothing more than the ramblings of an eccentric genius. He mumbled, "This isn't just math," as he stared at the symbols on the calculator. It's a map. The writings of Elias were deciphered by a group that Marani organized. Including the precise date of VyperTech's fall, the equation accurately predicted worldwide network interruptions with a level of precision that was terrifying. A secret algorithm that was capable of rewriting the behavior of artificial intelligence on a basic level was concealed inside the symbols. And the last part, which is still incomplete, this was a countdown clock. The only thing that Marani discovered as he hurried to meet Elias was the janitor's outfit was folded neatly and placed on the desk, an incendiary notepad that was thrown away. In addition, a single post-it note. You should have stopped at the first line. It was captured on security camera when Elias left the building at 3:17 in the morning, carrying nothing except an old leather suitcase. He was able to delete himself. After 3 days, the artificial intelligence systems of Vortex started performing in ways that Elias's equation had anticipated. Unidentified symbols were drawn in the sky by unmanned aerial vehicles. Financial algorithms sent a single cent from each and every worldwide transaction to an account that could not be traced. For a period of 3.2 seconds, every single smart gadget on the planet showed a single phrase. Do you see IT now? Governments went into a frenzy. It had not been Elias's job to solve difficulties. Seed had been planted by him. A fading photograph of a younger Elias standing next to a guy dressed in a military uniform, and both of them smiling in front of a machine. Written in pencil on the back of the document. The looming project. Elias's equation predicted that on the precise day that it would occur, every light on Earth will flicker simultaneously. For precisely 3.2 seconds. Every digital screen displayed the following. A live stream of Elias Carter, who seems to be smiling while standing in an unidentified place, said you had the pieces, and he was right. After that, the broadcast stopped working, and with it, every artificial intelligence system on the world. They restarted the system, and everything worked without a hitch. With one exception, however. The name Elias Carter would never be spoken again by any computer. Subsequently, 1 year later, VyperTech Systems recruited a new janitor, who was an old guy who hummed as she worked. A simple wink was all he did when asked his name. Call me Eli. On his first night, he took a moment to linger at the whiteboard in the break room. In addition to writing a single sign, the engineers let out a gasp. The first line of a brand new equation was where it all began.